Hello friends, welcome. I am Savalian, a software dev slash creative, and today I want to talk about how YouTube is harder than the internet makes it out to be. You can't throw a rock on the internet without hitting 5 videos and a blog post about how YouTube is a great side hustle, it's a great way to make some extra cash, and that the only thing you need to do, and this comes with some caveats, obviously everyone doesn't say this word for word, but the general consensus is that all you need to do is keep posting, and eventually you will, find success or something resembling success. So Ali Abdaal famously says, post weekly on YouTube for 2 years and it will change your life. That's his sort of thing. And he's very careful not to say how, he's not making any promises that won't be true, but I do think that there's a lot more to it than that. And I want to talk about an experiment I did recently where I posted every day in December of 2021 on YouTube. I posted 31 videos, and I looked at the analytics at the time, and then I also looked again now, so 4.5 months later, and I learned some things that I think are pretty interesting. So first, let's talk just briefly about my history on YouTube. I won't get too far into detail because you can see the videos I've posted. I've made some of them private just because I felt like they didn't fit the vibe, but a lot of the videos that I've made are still up and you can still watch them. So I started posting on YouTube in October of 2017, and I started with bullet journaling videos almost exclusively because that's what I liked watching. And I thought, if I like watching this and a lot of people are doing this, then clearly there's a market for it. I could do this too, and people will watch my videos. I started off posting about 3 or 4 times a month, so almost every week, sometimes every week, but probably closer to most weeks than every week. And growth was very slow. I did see some growth, of course, you probably wouldn't be here if I hadn't. And then in 2018, I started a little art challenge. I was going to do a work of art, a piece every week, and I did videos for a lot of those as well. So my posting went up to about 5 to 7 times a month. There were a lot of weeks where I posted 2 videos each week. And of course, I tried to make my videos better every time I made one. I didn't really get a new camera. That's been the sticking point for me. I've pretty much always used my phone because the price for a new camera is just a little bit high, and there have been other things that have been more important to buy at the time. But everything else, I've tried to learn how to edit better. Editing is a huge learning curve. I tried to make the audio better, get better lighting. Still, I was seeing a little bit of growth. There's always that little kind of trickle, 10 views here, 5 views there. But I wasn't seeing, the side hustle growth that people seem to talk about on the internet when they talk about YouTube. And effectively, I did exactly what Ali Abdaal suggested. Of course, I hadn't known about him then. I didn't do this because of his advice or anything. It's what I did to try and get, involved in YouTube. And early on, you expect to be unknown. You expect no one to watch your videos because they haven't found you yet. But as months turned into years, turned into multiple years, it starts to get really disheartening because it's a little bit like screaming into a void. But I was still making videos. I started doing some more vlogs. I really like vlogs, which is why I made them. But still, after all of this trial and error, all of this consistency, the golden rule, post consistently, wasn't working. I decided to try something new, something dramatically new. And so in December of 2021, I participated in Vlogmas, which typically is when you post a vlog every day from December 1st to December 25th. But instead of doing sort of a traditional Vlogmas, I wanted to do every day in December. I don't know why I was possessed to do this. It was very hard. But every day in December. And I also wanted to do different types of videos. And the reason for this was basically so I could do analysis on what types of content people like, what types of content people will subscribe to, what types of content people, watch all the way through. The things that, all of these things are metrics that YouTube uses to sort of decide who they promote and who they don't. They want people to watch more YouTube, so they show people videos that they think they will want to watch based on, internet. Based on internet. The idea of this experiment was if I post a wide variety of videos and I really stretch myself and learn new skills and try new things, I will be able to find what it is that I can do that aligns in that Venn diagram with what people like to watch. What types of videos did I actually make during Vlogmas? I won't get too far into detail on this. I will have a Medium article that sort of mirrors this video that I think having a lot of those numbers in text format will be more useful. So you can always go check that out if you want. I'll make sure to link it. But basically, I'm going to read off my list here. I did 10 vlogs, 6 planning or journaling videos, 5 Let's Play style videos where I play a game and I sort of talk while I'm doing it, 4 videos that were sort of about me, about my interests, like my Netflix ranking video that I had a lot of fun doing. There were 3 videos about crafting process, so like where I was doing some sort of craft and talking or a time lapse or something like that. 2 videos talking about the game I'm working on, sort of like a game update, and then 1 video that covered a technical process where I showed a technical thing I was working on and talked over that. The first really interesting thing, and this is going to lead into the first sort of takeaway lesson. The first interesting thing is that most of the videos would get their views sort of early, first couple days, and then it would taper off to basically nothing after, some amount of time. And some of these videos, it was like 2 days. Some of these videos, it was like 30 days. But that was the most common pattern for like view accumulation. But there were a couple videos that either kept going up or they had a very long sort of tail or a short tail. I don't know statistics. I think you know what I mean. So a couple videos had a really long one, and the thing that these videos had in common, they get most of their traffic from YouTube search. So there's a couple ways a video can get traffic. You can have the search where people search something and your video comes up. They have the browse, which I believe is just like the recommendations that they have on like your dashboard and stuff, or your feed, whatever they call it. I think that's browse, but maybe there's more to it. There's like the recommended column. There's direct links, like if you have a different platform, you're bringing people over to YouTube from. What else is there? There's your channel page. Those are kind of the main ones that I saw, but search is different because all the videos that I had that were mostly found through search are still getting views today, 4 months later. And that is because for most search terms, obviously there's some things that are like trendy that people are going to search for a while and then stop. But for most things, people will search for them when it's relevant to them. So it's not going to be as based on like the algorithm or whatever YouTube decides to do, whatever other YouTubers decide to do. This is going to be the most sort of evergreen that you can get on YouTube is things that are searchable. And it can be really hard to come up with what that is. Specifically, some specific videos that did well with the search traffic, the big one was the first time playing Genshin Impact video. A lot of people will search Genshin Impact first time. I had no idea. I had no idea that this was a thing that people wanted to watch specifically because the other Let's Play videos did not have the same results. And I know like Genshin Impact probably had a big impact itself because it was really popular when I played it. It might still be. I'm a little bit out of the loop on that, but specifically watching people do something for the first time is a surprising source of search traffic that I didn't know about. Another video that did well that was not as surprising was the Stayology journal review. So any sort of product review, unless it's a really, really obscure product that no one, ever wants to buy, it's gonna be searchable, because when people want to find out if they want to buy something, they're gonna look for reviews. So that's something, if you have a product that is related to what you do, you can do product reviews. And I've seen this in a lot of lifestyle vloggers started their sort of YouTube journey by doing product reviews or hauls, or like talking about things that they like and use. And that is sort of what built their audience up so that they could switch over to, a little bit more general, less searchable lifestyle content. And the last video actually that did really well for search traffic was my video about rigging a bird character in Blender. So this is a sort of, it wasn't exactly a tutorial, but it was tutorial-like. It covered the overall process, and so that one did well because people are searching for that. So the first thing to think about when making videos for YouTube is, how are people finding the videos? So like I mentioned, search traffic is going to be the most reliable, at least in my experience, based on the analytics that I've seen. So the second thing that you need to think about if you want to grow on YouTube is, what makes people keep watching? Or to put it in a different way, after someone's clicked on a video, what makes them stay? And there are a lot of factors here, of course. This is dealing with psychology, and information on this huge scale is always going to have caveats, but the basic pattern that I saw was that the videos that did much better for retention, so like how long someone watched a particular video, was that video having a cohesive process or story behind it. So anything where you do things in the video that sort of lead into the next thing. Vlogs are a great example of this sometimes. This is actually a skill I've really been working on, is creating vlogs with forward motion. And I've noticed that certain vlogs did much better, and it was when they were focused on a particular event or a particular thing I was trying to get out of that day or week. So like my Sunday decluttering vlog did much better than like just a week in the life sort of vlog, because it was focused on decluttering. That was sort of the goal of the vlog. And so I had that thread to carry the viewer through to the end. Another one that did really well for retention was my video about how I finish hand spun yarn. So that follows a process. There is step 1, step 2, step 3, and then all the way to the end. So very clear process. As long as learning how to finish yarn is something someone wants to watch, they're gonna start that video, they're gonna watch it all the way through, because it keeps them interested. It keeps providing valuable information all the way through. And it's really important here that your thumbnail and your title, the thing that people see before they start the video, are clear, and they explain what your video is without giving away like all the information. So this is where, if you try to get too clickbaity with things, it's really going to hurt you, because someone's going to see like, oh, this is what this video is about, I'm going to watch it. And then you start your video and it's not about that, or maybe it's just like briefly touched on in part of it or something. People are not going to like that. And they're either going to just leave, or they're going to like scrub through the video to get to the part that they want. And something I thought was funny was my Netflix series ranking list had this little spike right before I announced the first place show, which I thought was funny, because it kind of implies that people are watching this video and they don't actually care about the bad series, or whatever. They just want to see which one I liked best, and I just thought that was funny. We just want to get right to the point here. So that was kind of the second lesson is, once you have someone's attention, how do you keep it? And I think the answer is by providing a path through the video, whether it's like a vlog that conforms to a story in some way, like with a beginning, middle, and end, or like a process. A review for a product should cover the basics, get into some details, and then provide some sort of conclusion or recommendation at the end. This story format is something that people just sort of naturally cling to, so it can really only help with your retention, and that's what I saw in my analytics. The last thing that I learned, and this one is I learned through negative reinforcement, and that is what makes people come back to your channel, and an extension of this is what makes people subscribe to your channel because they want to come back later. So I actually lost 8 subscribers during Vlogmas, so I actually did bad at this one, but I think that this provides a good example of what not to do. So I think this is where the consistency comes in. There are kind of 2 ways people use YouTube, just generally speaking. They're looking for something, or they are receiving their updates. So like it's kind of a difference between like reading the daily news because you're interested in events that are happening around you, or looking up a specific event because you heard about it and you're interested in that event. I think in order to get people to come back, you have to kind of be that daily news. They have to know what they're going to get from you and your channel, and it has to be something that they're interested in getting repeatedly in the future. So when I did this experiment for Vlogmas, what I was doing was I didn't have a stable base. So I didn't start with sort of a good foundation of subscribers, and I just sort of threw spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. And so anyone who found my channel, or anyone who had subscribed and then just suddenly started seeing me post all these videos, were like, what is she doing? What is her deal? In order to build up that community, you do need to have a period of time at least where you are doing something that viewers can expect. And that doesn't mean every video has to be the same. It just means that the value that the viewer gets from your videos has to be predictably consistent. So in my case, I started off doing a lot of bullet journaling content. I did a little bit of art. I did a little bit of vlogs. I think these sort of flowed together kind of well, which is why even though my growth was slow, it was a slow upward growth. And then Vlogmas, I did some vlogs, I did some technical stuff, I did some planning, I did games, I did, a product review, I did a dev vlog, all of these different things. People don't know what my next video is going to be if it's kind of random. On the other hand, I'm not sure that a person who is new to YouTube or new to content creation can really know what they want to do and what they want to be if they don't try some stuff out. I think I should have done this a long time ago. I think I should have been a little bit more free with my content. I think a big recommendation is to pick a niche, make content in that niche. From my personal experience, that seems like a bad idea. I think before you niche, you need to really figure out what resonates. I think you need to figure out what you do best, and specifically what you do that other people connect with, because I don't think it's going to be the same for everybody. Like, you may be wildly competent in something, but it may be hard for you to make content about that is interesting to other people because, depending on where you are, depending on how you speak, depending on how you structure your videos, there may be something else that you're, equally competent in, or maybe, just a little bit less, that you can speak about in a more engaging way, or that sort of naturally fits into a market that maybe you didn't know exists. Maybe it's your first time playing Genshin Impact. Like, for me, you didn't know that was a thing people wanted. So I think you need to do a certain amount of experimentation to figure out what that is. In the end, doing a video every day for 31 days was incredibly hard. I had never posted anywhere near that much in my life. I've never edited videos that much in my life, but I'm glad I did it because it was pretty fun. Aside from the hours and hours of editing that I was doing almost every day, it was really fun, and it was fun to see the data afterwards. It was fun to dig into all these analytics, and like I said, I'm going to have that Medium article where I break down the numbers a little bit more, but I'm glad I did it. I'm still figuring out sort of who I am content-wise, what I want to do, and I think this was a good step in the right direction. Thank you so much for watching, especially all the way through. If you made it this far, I would really appreciate it if you would give the video a like, and maybe subscribe. I will be back soon with another video, and I hope to see you there. Bye bye!